we've talked a lot in this show about the war on religion, and specifically, we think Christianity in particular, obviously Judaism as well, but I think front and center, this whole effort by the Biden administration to really go after what they call, sort of that white Christian, and they always throw the word supremacist in there, which I think is a crock, but that's my own take on it. So, I mean, do you feel the way we do, that there is an overt war on religion in this country, basically coming in large part from this administration?
Well, I think that it's an extension of the entire plan that's based around critical theory. We hear a lot about critical race theory, but if you dig deeper into critical theory, that it's a destruction of religion. And I think it's the goal of this administration, Biden and his minions, to destroy religion, because they cannot create a society that's based on communism and socialism with a strong base of religion. So one of the cornerstones of creating communism and socialism is to destroy religion, because they want to take us away from being a spiritual animal and try to turn us into an economic animal. And they can't do that without destroying the foundations of spirituality, which are the churches and the synagogues and the mosques in this country. So that's all part of an overall plan for them that's designed to take us to a socialist state.
Interesting. So we often talk about here that wokeism is a new religion, or it's being put forth as something other than a religion, but in fact it really is. It has all the hallmarkings of religion. Is there a nexus here between what you just said about this, the intent of this administration, and wokeism as sort of one of the tools?
I think that it is, Robert. One of the things that you'll see in wokeism is that they want you to have a belief system. And it's a belief system that is not based around a spiritual being. It is not based around God. So what they're doing is they're trying to bring it in as a religion. And that's why wokeism, like Judaism and Catholicism, they want to get away from the wokeness and get it into the isms. And what they're really trying to do is to take us away from religion. I think if you look at the latest numbers, 37% of people in the last 5 years have gone away from traditional religion. So it's working for them. So they bring in the climate change. They bring in all these new ideas based around wokeism to make sure that they have control over the thoughts and processes of our younger people. And it's working for them. So you're going to see much more of it continue. It's based on some of the behavioral science research that was brought in by the Obama people back in 08, 07, where they really looked how to manipulate people. And wokeism is the result of that. And this administration right now is going overboard in terms of trying to accelerate all of the wokeism. And that's all goes back to the part of destroying religion as we know it. And the basis of our wokeism is very thin layer. So one of the next steps after they get people turned on to wokeism is that they'll destroy wokeism as well. And by doing that, it makes people more and more reliant upon government, which opens the door for them to create a communist state.
Wait a minute, back up. Explain something to me on this. Okay, I followed most of that, but they're going to destroy wokeism when and how and why?
Wokeism is a transition. It's just transition people away from religion into another set of beliefs. Once they find out that those set of beliefs left them empty, it opens the door for people to become more reliant upon government itself. And
because they're so disoriented. Oh, it's almost like it's so disoriented, right? We remove the truth. I think, Robert, in one of our segments last week, what was it, like 60 or 70% of churches don't teach the biblical worldview anymore. So, right. So Jay, if we then move people to wokeism and that becomes the new thing where people find stability, and then they remove that, there really isn't anything left but government, or, that's how people will see it.
You're absolutely right. People are dependent upon organizations of other people, and they're going to find themselves wandering aimlessly, and you're going to find a leader. I don't know if I want to call it an antichrist, but a leader to come and say, I'm Jim Jones, and I'm the government, and I'm the only one that can give you guidance and direction. I'm the only one that can provide spirituality to you. And that's their overall goal. What they fail to realize, and the Soviet Union went through it, Russia went through it, China's going through it to some degree, is that we are not economic animals. We are spiritual animals, and we believe because there is truly one God, and to worship that one God is really the true answer. And I think it's going to take us a long time. We're going to fight through a lot of this until we actually become stronger in our faith. But the country's going to go through an awful lot before we get there.